All right, we're going to get started with what's your name, how old are you, and where are you from?
Terry Phillips. I don't know, I was awful young back then, and St. Louis, Missouri.
All right, great. And how did you become an Elvis fan?
We kind of grew up with him in my house. My dad was a fan, my brother, so just kind of happened.
And then you are an Elvis tribute artist. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into that?
The church I was going to had a sweetheart banquet for Valentine's Day, and they're like, "Hey, you're a big Elvis fan, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." And then they say, "Hey, can you do some love songs like Elvis?" And I did, and we had a keyboard player at our church, and he played music, and we just kind of went off from there.
Perfect. And so how long have you been performing as Elvis?
Since 1999. So.
Oh, wow. All right.
Many years that is.
Yeah, and so you've been performing all throughout the Midwest, or how far do you go?
Yeah, I travel. The farthest I've been is North Dakota. Did a Christmas show there.
Always live a very quiet life. I ain't never did no wrong. Now I know this been a wild life. It's been, I said, too long. One night. Here's what I am for the things that we two could plan will make my dream come true.
You perform all the different eras, so you do 50s,
Correct.
60s, and 70s, and you've been, what's been kind of the highlight of your career so far?
The highlight of my career, probably getting to sing to a lady on her deathbed. That was, kind of sounds morbid, but it was, I'd done her birthday a few years beforehand, and they called me back to sing for her, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you've gotten to go to Graceland before.
Yeah.
What was it like going into the house for the first time and do the meditation garden?
Yeah, it was surreal. It was sad. You know, it's like you said, you can feel his presence there, but you kind of feel bad that he's not there. So.
Yeah. So you have, there's a large ETA community out there. What has the ETA community in St. Louis been like for you?
Oh, it's very, it's a very warm kind of deal. It's, everybody loves Elvis, and you go places, Elvis, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And what does your wife think about you as an ETA?
Which one? No, I'm just kidding. I think it's cool, but I think she gets fed up with it sometimes, but she accepts it and, figures that's who I am. So.
Yeah. And your kids, what do they think about it?
They think it's pretty cool, I think. My youngest daughter just got married not too long ago, and so she wants to take her hubby to Graceland and, have me show them the ropes, so that's pretty cool.
Well, that's awesome. All right, so you've been able to meet some cool people being an ETA, and you've gotten to meet some people within Elvis's circle. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I did a contest down in Branson, Missouri, and Mac Gurley was there, who hung out with Elvis back in late 50s, early 60s. Hung out at Graceland, that type of thing. So that was pretty neat meeting him.
Yeah, and he gave you something while you were there?
Yeah, so I did a show for his church in Olive Branch, Mississippi, and before I went on the show, he gave me a purple tumbler and said, "Here, drink out of this." And I said, "Okay." So I drank water out of it. He said, "It'll make your voice golden." And he said, "This used to belong to Elvis. He left it to Memphian, and he gave it to me as a gift." And I almost cried. I put it in my saddlebag of my Harley and rolled back to St. Louis, but I was happy as a dead bird in the sun when I got there. So.
Awesome. So you've been able to sing all sorts of places and develop your style. So how have you gone about developing your style as an ETA?
Basically, just watching Elvis movies, concerts, and things of that sort.
Mm-hmm. And what do you feel a responsibility to get it right as an ETA?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm an Elvis fan myself, so it's I do shows with a great deal of love and respect for the man.
Yeah, and making sure you're kind of passing it on to
Yeah.
the next generation.
Absolutely.
And do you find that you get stage fright when it comes to being an ETA?
Well, that's funny. Elvis always said he never wanted to get over what they call stage fright. So there's always, I think, a bit of energy that happens before you go on, and I think that translates in the show.
Yeah. So you talked about the ETA community around here. So do you guys get together, when you get together with them or you see them, do you guys swap tips or anything like that? Or what's kind of the chatter like when you guys are together?
Yeah, sometimes. I remember one time that contest in Branson, one of the guys was like, "Man, when you forget a words of a song, you just go over and schmooze the women." I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense. I like that."
Yeah, exactly. So a few questions about Elvis. So what do you think is the most important thing that non-Elvis fans should know about Elvis?
Wow, non-Elvis fans. Wow, non-Elvis fans should know. He was definitely believed in God and the power that Christ had. So I think that's sustained him through a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So people have said that, or it's been said to me in the past, that being an Elvis fan is living in the past. What do you think about that statement?
I'm just trying to figure out what was wrong with that.
Yeah, I absolutely.
I
agree with
like
that.
the past. There's good stuff back there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then my last question for you then is that what does being an Elvis fan mean to you today?
An Elvis fan, just enjoying great music and entertainment. I mean, he was one of a kind cat. There'll never be another one. Guys like me, we do the shows and whatnot, but he's just one of a kind.
Well, great. Thank you so much for talking to me today, and thanks for getting out there and using your voice to continue his legacy.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you.